guys, it's Dr. George, and I'm not in my regular spot in my living room, but I am outside at Cattail Marsh in Beaumont, Texas. So we have two gentlemen, they're over there, and so you'll get to meet them later. But I do have a book, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm deadly afraid of frogs. So I'm hoping that tonight they stay, in the marsh. But there's lots of birds that I've seen already. So those noises that you hear around, maybe you'll hear people walking and talking. Those are people that are out here possibly bird watching, because there's a lot of beautiful birds. I just saw a bird walking around in the, I guess these are lily pads. Are these lily pads? And lily pads. And I didn't know they could walk. Like, on that. That's just so smart. So you can put your comments there. I am going to go ahead and do a little work on my end. I'm going to tag them. Let's see. So that they can be a part of it. And let me know if you hear any animal sounds, and you can put it in there that you hear it. So let's see. Let me fix this. Set my post. And let's see if I can do it. Is that Visit Beaumont? Visit Beaumont. Yep, got it. All righty. So we're ready to go. So welcome to Tucked In Tuesdays, as I say every Tuesday. Thank you all for joining me. I know some of you watch it much later. Hi, Ms. Rito. How are you? So my first book, well, my only book for tonight is I, Crocodile by Fred Marcellino. I, Crocodile. And as you can see, I'm dressed like a crocodile, maybe a gator. Hi, Ms. Levy. How are you? And hi, Mike. I did tell them about you, Mike, and that you would fact check things. So I saw that you said that you hope the story cheers you up. You're not feeling well for the past couple of days. I'm sorry, Mike, but I think I'll give you some things to fact check. So hi, Ms. Levy. I see your comment there. And hi, Ms. Rito. I see your comment there. So thank you all for joining. Let me go to my regular page so I can see my regular viewers on there. There we go. Hi, Samantha. That's my sister. Hi, Rolanda, Riley, Janet. Hello. So here's my book. And remember, you always want to get consent to read someone's book publicly. So I have permission granted by Harper Collins Publisher. So here we go. And we're going to answer questions of why I'm sitting outside with the marsh behind me in just a little bit. Hi, Miss Mott. So I, Crocodile. Now, there's some crocodiles and maybe gators out here. We'll get to ask them in a little bit out here. So here we go. What a contented crocodile I used to be, wallowing around in slimy green water, snoozing on mud banks in the hot sun, scaring the life out of anything that wandered by. Oh, he doesn't look so confident. And there's Batman behind me. He doesn't talk, but that's Batman. He doesn't talk at all. So hi, Ruby. But my greatest joy, eating, actually overeating. I had the perfect diet, an endless variety of delectable fish, all sorts of succulent water birds, plus a few reptiles on the side, distant cousins only. However, unlike certain pathetic creatures who have to chase after their next meal, I always ate in style. Dinner, it came to me. I hope we don't witness the food cycle, but we might. And why not? I'm an aristocrat, a direct descendant of the noble crocodiles of ancient Egypt. In fact, the great pharaohs themselves treated my ancestors like gods. Idol worship, I just love it. That's why I always resisted eating people, even though they do look awfully tasty. Guess I'm just a sentimental type. Those were blissful days indeed, but sadly, they came to an abrupt end on, to be precise, August 17th, 1799. Who should decide to come to Egypt? And so I see Mike, you put, I remember the shirt that I got Crystally Barnes for Emmeline's in New Orleans, and she was my Louisiana yard pup. And he said the gator was the yard pup. Yikes, Mike. And Nathan Floyd, thank you. He said, I'm an inspiration. Napoleon, you know, that French guy who thought he owned the world? What was going on? An invasion, more like a raid. And in the center of it all, this little man barking orders. Mummies, I want mummies, Napoleon cried. And a sphinx. Now here goes Dr. George with words. Okay, so maybe these two men can help me. Because remember, Dr. George says if you mess up on a word, you got to still try. Obelisk. Does that sound like a word? He said it sounds like it's Obelisk. Obelisk. See, there you go. You got to ask for help. Make it a big one. That temple over there. Just what I need. Palm trees too. Don't forget palm trees. There we go. And a crocodile, he bellowed. I must have a crocodile. Suddenly, some bozos with funny hats and a big net were all over me. What a cruel and abrupt departure from my mud bank. I scarcely had a chance to give a parting glance to my beloved home, much less finish my scrumptious dessert, pink flamingo. And what a beastly ocean voyage. Even crocodiles can get seasick. For the first time in my life, I couldn't eat a thing. I just picked a little. He is eating a fish. Hi, Tracy. After 2 wretched weeks at sea, we finally dropped anchor. Then an endless coach ride. Was anyone keeping track of all the meals I was missing? Last stop, Paris. There in the gardens, I was installed in a fountain. How humiliating to find myself living in what amounted to a fancy bathtub. So he considers this a bathtub. Oh, on the other hand, it was rather flattering to receive so much attention. Napoleon showed me off to everyone. I was an overnight sensation, an instant celebrity, the toast of the, I need help with another word, the toast of the Tuileries.
Go Tuileries.
Tuileries. We're going to go with Tuileries. Toast of the Tuileries, the darling of the empire. Here we go. Rather fancy. Soon, all Paris was doing the crocodile walk. Yes, very nice. But what about dinner? I hadn't had a decent meal in ages. So everybody's doing the crocodile, but he's not eating as much. Well, fashions changed quickly in Paris in no time at all. Le Fantastique Crocodile Egyptian was old news. Napoleon found new amusements. Visitors were few, and my diet, don't ask. Look at that one kid teasing him. Sometimes the world has you up and then to the bottom. Then one morning, Napoleon and some guests strolled idly by. Is that beast still here, sir? Inquired one of the ladies. Off to the kitchen with him. Crocodile pie with Egyptian onions is all the rage in Cairo. A brilliant idea, cried the emperor. We'll have him for dinner tonight. What? To think that kings once bowed before crocodiles? Now here was this lowlife ready to eat one? Oh my goodness. I spent the day nervously pacing the rim of my tub. Then, oh no, a loutish fellow with a cleaver showed up. I felt faint. But wait, a ballooning mishap? Napoleon in peril? My chance to flee. Boldly seizing an opportunity, I made my escape. Now what? Murky water, slime-covered walls, dank and fetid air. Let's see what happens. You like this, huh, Riley? I see all your hearts. Yes, lucky me. The sewers of Paris. Crocodile heaven. Wait a minute. What about dinner? Not to mention breakfast, lunch, and snacks. After all, I was still stuck in Paris. What was a starving crocodile supposed to eat? And look at that little hole. Up, you know what he ate? Kind of tells you right there in the picture. Yummy. Now, what's for dessert? And look at that feather. So tell me what he ate. But before we do that, I want to give you guys a little bit of information about where I am, because this place where I am is totally free and people can come and tour. So I'll have these two
Hello.
come in. We're sitting on the floor. And tell us a little bit about where we are and how this place got started and why is it so important to come out and visit this area.
Okay. Well, I'm John. This is Ken. We both work out here at Cattail Marsh for the City of Beaumont's Convention and Visitors Bureau. And the marsh was built. It was a constructed wetland in the early 90s by the City of Beaumont, and it serves a really important role in our community. It cleans our wastewater for us. And so that's why it's here. But the reason why we work out here is because we get all sorts of visitors who come out to enjoy the wildlife, the trails we have, the educational programming that we run. Ken is our nature photographer. He's an incredibly talented guy, and we share a bunch of his photos on our Instagram page at Cattail Marsh and on our Facebook page, Cattail Marsh Wetlands Education Center. And that's where we share any information about programming we have. And it's important to come out and enjoy these places in our community so we can continue to add different types of programming for folks to do when they come out to enjoy. And we really want to thank Dr. George for coming out here to read this bedtime story to everyone from our beautiful little piece of the world out here.
And so I do have a question. You said education center. So with me being a principal, are field trips allowed here? And if so, how do they arrange field trips?
They are absolutely allowed out here. You can email me or email cattailmarsh@beaumonttexas.gov. There's also our phone number on the website. Whatever is easiest for you to contact us, but we can set those up for you.
So does it charge? Does it cost anything?
No, ma'am. It's free.
Absolutely free. So when schools bring the kids out, can they bring a whole grade level at one time and get a personalized tour?
So it varies. We have had small groups and large groups with students, and we try and help out as much, get the curriculum as close to what the school is needing and so as possible. And so sometimes it's just a simple lesson plan that we do in the education center, and then we let the children come and explore the marsh and kind of learn on their own. We have done tours. So a tour of the marsh would probably require a smaller group, though.
Smaller group. So tell me your coolest picture that you've ever taken.
I would say my coolest picture is a picture of a bald eagle that we have out here, and their nest is actually located on this end of the marsh, and it's two bald eagles that's been living here for a little over 12 years now, and that picture is pretty popular. And I would say the next coolest picture is probably something of an alligator out there.
An alligator.
Yeah.
So,
Like yourself.
like myself, yes. And so I'm looking around and I see lots of birds, and I see people with little telescopes, huge telescopes. So tell me, how many do you think varieties of birds are out here?
Well, officially, we have around 285 different species of birds out here. But just recently, we had a new bird that was seen out here called a limpkin. And it was captured by one of the photographers that come out here all the time.
So why is that bird so rare for this area?
Why do you think it's so rare for this area?
Well, so up to a few years ago, you could only find those in the U.S. and Florida, and their range has slowly been moving farther and farther west. And so it just kind of, things change, food sources change. And so although right now it's rare to see, in a year or two, it might be a pretty common bird around here. These things and there's a lot to see and do out here.
Absolutely love that. And I see a lot of people out walking. So I see people walking, and there was a gentleman when I first came that had a picture of an alligator. So are there any warnings that you should take when you're walking?
So what we tell folks to do, and Ken is fearless, so I'm gonna give my advice, and then we'll see what Ken has to say.
I'm pretty sure it lines up.
Most of the year, alligators are going to be more afraid of us than we are of them. If they see you, or you see you see an alligator, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to run into the water from you or just stay still and not do anything and not pay attention to you. Now there is a time of year in the summertime, so kind of right now, whenever the females are nesting and the babies are born. And like any mother alligators are very protective of their young. And so that is one time if you were to accidentally get too close to a nest, an alligator might make a noise at you or move towards you. But that's this time of year we tell people to be very careful. So it sounds scarier than it is. Ken's been chased by one. But like I said, he's fearless. I'm gonna let him tell that.
I had to get the photo.
But no, we've never had any incidences with the alligators out here. They're like I said, they don't want anything to do with the people. They're going to be more scared of you. Just in the summertime, we try and practice a little more caution and awareness of your surroundings.
Nesting.
Exactly.
So what time does it? Because I see the sun starting to set. What time does this area ever close?
So Cattail Marsh is attached to Terrell Park, and anytime you can get into Terrell Park, you can get into the marsh. So that's roughly sun up to sundown every day. Now the education center that we've mentioned before, we have hours Monday through Friday, 9 to 6.
Okay.
And on Saturday, we have hours of 11 to 2. And during those 11 to 2 o'clock hours, we offer free arts and crafts. And if you like yoga, we have a free yoga class at 9:30 on Saturdays as well, a.m. And then Sundays, the building's closed, but the marsh is still open.
But Saturday is yoga. There you go, Miss Rito. She said, very interesting, and I'm ready to explore. Yes. So when is if I was going to come out here, what is the perfect time of day to come out? What do you think is the best time to come out?
I'll let you give yours and I'll give.
No, you go. Ken's been coming out here his whole life. He knows everything you want to know about the marsh, so he's the guy.
So I would say the best time to come out here, as far as what you can see, I would say early in the morning, maybe around 7 a.m., between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's where I see most of the birds. And we have more than just birds and alligators here. We also have deer out here, river otters. I've seen deer, bobcats running around. John's seen coyotes out there. And so, yeah, early in the morning, plus it's not hot.
But you said a river otter.
River otter.
Otter.
Yes.
I was like, that sounds like something I need to be in panic about.
Yeah,
so,
the otters you don't really have to worry about.
No. So do you have, I'm looking at some of the birds and I wish they could see them up close, and I wish we could have seen the beautiful one. I thought it was like a baby peacock, but what was that?
That's called a purple gallinule.
Oh, I was way off. This little baby peacock because of the colors in it. But I'm seeing this bird that fly, and maybe he'll land, maybe not. He has this little, there he is. So I don't want to scare him, but he has red and yellow. What kind of bird is that?
That is a red-winged blackbird.
That makes
Yep, very to the point.
That makes
very obviously named. That's the easy one.
Yes. So that they're making a lot of noise. Why is his wings out and he's screaming like that? What is he doing? Let me see if I can get him. Let's see. Well, he's little, but he's spreading his wings and just screaming. What was he calling, a girl or something?
Could be. Sometimes when they're kind of displaying like that, those red and yellow patches on its wings, kind of on its shoulders. If it was a human, I'd say it was on its shoulders. They are used to attract mates, and they make certain calls and stuff. I don't know if this kid might know this. Is the time of year for them to nest? I'm not too sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so. That could be another reason they could be displaying those colors like that. Could be to maybe claim an area or warn off another male, just to show that, I'm more colorful and I'm bigger than you. That's why it puts the wings out like that.
I've done that before as a gator.
Yeah.
So thank you all for inviting me. This was so nice. I was worried about the onesie in the heat, but it's really cool. So this is a perfect time, around 7-ish.
Yes.
Ms. Rito, you can come out here and walk. And how long does it? Because I remember when I was out here one night, they told me the span of the walk.
Okay, so there's a bunch of different trails in the marsh. So if you were to walk on every trail at Cattail, you'd walk just about 12 miles. The big outside circle is 5 miles. Where we're sitting here on the boardwalk, it's a cell of water that if you walk the trail around this cell altogether, that's a 2-mile walk. So you can make it as short or as long as you'd like. In the summertime, I would definitely
Tours.
Oh yeah. If walking in the heat doesn't sound like something you'd want to do, on Tuesdays and Thursdays we offer free van tours of the marsh, and you can go to our Facebook page to find a link to sign up for those.
Well, there you go. That's nice to know.
Yes.
That you can
It's
get
a little hot to walk a couple hours in the summertime. So
yeah, and Maddie said it's a beautiful backdrop for Tucked In Tuesdays. It is, Maddie. And good evening, Miss Melanson. So, and Miss Fartenberry said, this is so cool. And hi, Malachi. And hi, Audrey and Aubrey and Ryan. Hello. So, and hi, Lennox and Delvin. So, and hi, Vicky and Lori. So I do have one little thing. I always like to leave them with their biggest takeaway from the book. Were you listening to the book?
We learned some words that we never heard before.
We did. So I always do a takeaway from the children's book. Okay. So you want me to go first? So I could tell you kind of. Okay. My biggest takeaway from the book is sometimes we think that we want to be somewhere or do something that we're not used to doing, but sometimes it's just best to do what you know. And he was used to fine dining, and he realized that he liked to eat people. Like that was his favorite meal. And I guess, God, this is a good book to say try stuff, but my biggest takeaway is don't be afraid to try different things.
Try that.
Yeah, don't eat people. No, don't eat people. So what is your biggest takeaway from the book, or your favorite part of the book?
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Well, I just want to piggyback off of what you said, try the new things. That's basically how I found this place right here, by trying new things and getting out. And you'd be surprised at what you can find. Even if you just go out for a few minutes, you could find stuff, maybe not anything as adventurous as eating people, as alligator there, but or the crocodile there. But yeah, I agree with you.
So Ken went with, that was a very good answer. Mine is maybe less insightful, and it was that at the end of the book, whenever the alligator was done eating and he just wanted dessert, that resonated with me, as I'm always looking for the next meal and eating dessert. So that's what I connected with most. I probably should have had a better takeaway than that.
You know what? If he doesn't mind, we have a visitor.
Hey, Harlan.
So they know Harlan. Harlan, you're here all the time. So what do you come out here and do?
Take photos of birds, and then get exercise.
In
the absence of mosquitoes.
In the absence, and one hasn't bit me yet. So y'all say hello, Harlan. If you come out around this time, he's taking pictures of the birds and he's getting some exercising. And Miss, thank you so much. And so Miss Simon said hello. So my last part that I always like to leave you with a bit of advice. What would be your advice? You leave them with.
Well, y'all said earlier, don't be afraid to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
That's great advice that I've listened to many times in my life, and it's always at the very least you're going to learn something.
And I would say, don't forget to appreciate nature and what's around you, because there's a whole lot to find out there.
Okay, so guys, the way you can, Miss Mary said, hello, Harlan. Got a friend. So I want to say, like I say every single Tuesday, if nobody else tells you, Dr. George loves you, and come out here and support the free things that Beaumont has to offer. So many times I was telling him about Avery Island. I drive 2 hours to go somewhere, and it's right here in my backyard, literally. So the best thing that you can do to support Tucked In Tuesdays is to show up here tomorrow and tell them that the human gator sent you. They'll know who you're talking about. So good night, guys. Thank you. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Good night.